This is the tier list for every single VCT team that currently has one. We'll do one for China when they get one in May. But just as a heads up, F tier are for the skins that only the day one haters will like because they will make fun of anyone who owns this. And deep down as an owner of one, you know they have a point. But you like the team anyway, so YOLO. D tier skins are for the type of person who will only buy this skin if they were super fans, but even then they'd be kind of reluctant to. C tier skins are for the fans of this org and you're happy with what they were able to pull off. If you're not a fan of this org, then you might be sleeping on the skin as well. But hey, this is for the fans and for the orgs to make a little bit of money too. The B tier skins are for those who aren't even a fan of the team, but you respect the effort that they put in. As a fan, you're probably blown away with what the org did compared to other teams. A tier skins are extremely impressive. Even day one haters would consider buying it and say they did it ironically or out of spite in a weird or tsundere kind of way. S tier is the best of the best. If you're rolling in cash and have a lot of money to blow, you'll probably get these skins. These are so nice that the placebo effect will probably help you hit all your right clicks and send your enemies straight into the next round. The first skin we'll talk about is 100 Thieves. Like a few other Team Classic skins, this is primarily black and red with a neon white gun buddy. For some strange reason, this gun buddy looks a lot better than the other neon white ones out there, at least in my opinion. It also combos really nice with other guns I've seen, like the glitch pop. The player card is pretty cool too, with someone stealing RR and placing it with an L. Kinda clever since it's 100 Thieves and someone's stealing, blah blah blah. It's unfortunate that these came out after 100 Thieves got eliminated, so people will probably make fun of you until they start winning again. It does feel like Riot is just trolling them. Nonetheless, I think overall I'll put this in A tier. Team Secret player card is kind of confusing. It looks like one of those filler battle pass cards with the tactical bears, which can be nice sometimes, but this one is just kind of meh. I feel like Team Liquid and Koi kind of shows you how you can really use your team mascot to its full effect. So maybe Team Secret can take some pointers from them in their next collection. The dark yellow / gold or brown isn't really doing it for me either, D tier. For Team Liquid, the player card is one of the most unique in the bundle. You're either going to love it or hate it depending on how you feel about cute stuff in Valorant. I like the orange rust color on the pullback mechanism. It's a really nice touch. And just as a heads up guys, blue and orange are my favorite colors, so it's going to be a bit of a bias here. Maybe A. Nah. We'll put it in B. I might move it up to A later in the video. Next we have Movie Star Koi. The classic is purple, which is a little bit rare for classics in general, which is nice. The player card also just goes hard, man. And I really wish VLR would keep this logo of Koi, especially since there's so many EMEA team logos out there that are just a snooze fest now for some strange reason. The Koi is also manifesting a dragon, which is pretty cool. It reminds me of JoJo's, where the fish could be like a stand user with a water dragon coming out of it. Again, if anyone puts this outside of S tier, then they just hate art or just beyond a hater at that point. Next we have Sentinels. I was really expecting more from them. It's okay. The player card looks cooler in the menu screen, but comparing it to other more creative ones, people have dubbed this as the worst collection. The classic is also red and black with some white details like other ones in this set. They did mention on X / Twitter that their mascot was supposed to be on their player card, but Riot denied it, and they deleted the tweet since then, which is even funnier. Some fans say they would have preferred Zeus's twerking, which is just hilarious too. I personally don't think the player card is that bad in game. The Sentinels just have a strong brand by itself, so it's still gonna look cool. However, since most of their fans are disappointed with this collection, I have to put it in F tier for the culture and for the memes. Karmine Corp. What can I say? You know me so well. J'adore les bleus. Next we have Team Heretics, and I think it's the definition of mid when it comes to classics. However, the player card is also meh, but in a bad way. I'm sure fans of Team Heretics and Benji Fishy wouldn't mind buying it, but I can also see other fans being a little bit reluctant, so D tier, maybe F tier really. Nah, let's put it in D. I think it'd be kind of funny if Sentinels were the only F tier team on this list. I might change it depending on how bad the other teams are. Here is Talon Esports, might be one of the best looking player cards in game. There's some hot pink detail on the classic to make it look a little bit different than all the other red and black ones in the game. Definitely S tier. I can see why some people might put it in A tier, but for me it's S. It's my tier list, so there's that. Let me know where you guys would put Talon Esports. Now we have Zeta Division, and Japanese Valorant just can't catch a break, man. Overall, it's a bit too minimalistic for me. I personally don't like the color combos, but it is unique. Also, if you're a fan of Zeta Division, could you tell me what the letters behind their logo means? Nonetheless, I put it in D tier. I might move it up to C later, but I think D is the right place for it. Next, we have T1 Esports. Pretty cool, mainly white and red, which is different than the other team skins. The player banner seems to have some like kind of lore or history to the company behind it, which is cool. And I'm a fan of lore. I'll put it in C, which isn't a bad rating, have you? Anything C and above means you did your fans right. D and below means you kind of let them down a little bit. And I'm sure fans of T1 would not mind getting this. Next, we have Paper X. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I like rooting for this team, so there's a little bit of bias. But even if there wasn't bias, I think most people will agree with my rating later on. The pink and purple/bluish tint is quite unique. The pink inspect is really nice too. The player card slaps as well. It's overall just an S tier collection. Here we have Energy doing their best Furia cosplay with the pistol. The player card is really impressive in my opinion. It's a person with a lot of lightning. You know, lightning represents energy. I play on words with the org's name. I'm sure fans of this team will love to support it. B tier easily. Here we have Furia doing its best NRG cosplay with the classic. Again, the player card is amazing. I gotta put it in B tier. Do I put it in front of NRG? I think both of them are just equal overall, you know. Yeah, we just say it's a tie between these two. Let me know which ones you guys like more between NRG and Furia down below in the comments. Team Vitality is next. Their player card kind of reminds me of Blue Beetle if he was yellow, which is a color sometimes hard to get right. It either really helps make things pop and look bold, or just makes the overall design look ugly. Overall, I think they did an okay job, so C tier. Here we have RRQ. The orange is fantastic, so bias incoming. The gun buddy is also the same color, which is nice. The player card's kind of like Sentinels, but with a little bit more like chaotic creativity to it. If this was me, I'd put it in B tier. I mean, it is, but I don't know. Overall, deep down inside, I know it's C. And again, C isn't bad. I might move it up to B, honestly, at the end of this video. Here we have MiBr, which stands for Made in Brazil. The player card has some reference to Brazil, as well as Counter-Strike 1.6 on the computer screen, which is very, very sneaky. I respect it. The classic itself doesn't match the player card at all, but those are the team colors though. Maybe they should change their official team colors to purple. It looks cooler in my opinion. I'm really torn between B and C with this collection. Maybe just low B for now. I'm okay with putting it in C. This is Gentlemates. They recently made it into tier 1 through the Ascensions tournament, so their spot isn't guaranteed after 2 years, but it is nice that Riot decided to let them have a team skin. They make the green with the pink detail work really well. The player card is nice too, and in my opinion, it's S tier. Now we have Navi. This is how you blend yellow and black without making the overall design ugly in my opinion. The player card is kind of meh, but not in a horrible way either. It's just there. However, the gun buddy is yellow, which is quite unique compared to other teams. Overall, I'm liking what Navi is doing here. I put it in A tier. Loud is all about green, and I have to be honest with you guys, it's not my favorite color, but the overall designs in this collection is making me change that. If you're a Viper main, then I could definitely see you copying this. I mean, just look at that inspection and tell me it doesn't scream Viper. The player card is also sick with some clouds, hello, and I'm sure this will give Finesse nightmares, so S tier for that too. Leviathan, again, blue is one of my favorite colors, and I think they just did it perfectly in this skin collection. It's also cool that they got Ninja to model for the player card. The dragon/sea serpent is jaw-dropping and makes me wonder how no one ever thought to make it their mascot before. The gun buddy is a neon blue, and the classic also has neon blue with dark blue as its base with some black details. I mean, anything outside of S tier is criminal for this skin line. KRU is pink and partly owned by Messi and Aguero. The player card is okay. I guess they really know who they're marketing this collection to. I'm happy with this one, so B tier. For Gen G, the colors on this skin really stand out well in game, and since I slept on them in my pick'ems, I kind of have to put them in A tier. Their player card is pretty cool too. It's like a futuristic tiger with cybernetic enhancements. If you're a Gen G fan, you're definitely happy with this collection. Here we have Giant X Gaming, and I did my best not to say it fast either. Oof. The player card is pretty cool. The classic skin feels like a copy and paste of KC, so I guess B tier. It just doesn't feel right putting them here though, but it is what it is. Here we have G2, who are basically the Sunderays of tier 1. They keep trying to hate Sentinels, but I think everyone knows deep down inside that they really love them. They even have a similar colorway, but their classic has a little bit more black to it, making it stand out a little bit more. The player card is also pretty sick too. It reminds me of the character called Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. B tier is fair in my opinion. Here we have Evil Genius, which is a team full of unfortunate circumstances where their main investors backed out from supporting them and are now supporting a Chinese team which resulted in them cutting player salary and ruining the chances for us to see them run it back. The player card is okay. They are from Seattle. If it wasn't for them pulling off the blue with the shades of green, I would rate them lower. But this is just such a nice skin, guys. B tier is fair. If this is FUT Esports, it gives me a lot of Turkish vibes as well as FIFA Street, which was one of my favorite soccer, I mean football games I've played. Their pistol sports another red and black combo lost in the sea of unoriginality. So C tier, and again, C and above is you doing justice to your fan base. This is Fnatic. As you can see, it's covered in orange. The player card has both blue and orange too, as well as someone doing like a Yoru/Omen cosplay. I know Fnatic well, mainly just Boaster has been teasing Yoru a lot. Nonetheless, it's A tier, and I guess since I'm putting Fnatic in A tier, I have to put RRQ up 1 too, and I don't mind putting MiBr and Giants X down to C tier either. DRX probably has the worst gun buddy. It just looks low res and slightly pixelated for some strange reason. The player card negates it though. It looks like a guy who just has mystical powers ready to take on the world. The skin itself is okay. The color combinations stand out from everyone else, but at the same time feels a little dull. Maybe a little bit more white highlights here and there could have helped. So I think C tier is fair. Originally I had C9 and S tier based on the images I saw online before booting up the game. But once you see this thing in a map, it doesn't hold up the same. I think making the blue a bit darker would have been better. The banner is nice and relaxing though. I could definitely see it comforting me on the days I have a red carpet results. It's the most refreshing player card to look at in this collection. The classic kind of just kills it for me. I guess I'll put it in B tier, maybe A. Yeah, I think A. We'll just put it in A. I forgot DFM has blue in their logo. I love the skin colors. The player banner is mad weak. In all honesty, I should put this in C, but it hurts for me to put them there, especially since they haven't won a game in over a year. If they win a game, I'll put it in C tier, but till then, we'll keep it in D. Bleed is another red and black skin out there, but there's a lot more emphasis on the red. I heard someone say the player card is the story of the team climbing the ranks and making it in and out of Ascension to eventually tier 1 Valorant, which is cool. I'm a sucker for lore and good storytelling, so A tier. The funny thing is about GE is that they stand for Global Esports, but the colors scream USA, USA, USA. And I know United States isn't the only country to have red, white, and blue in its flag, but you don't hear the French constantly say Rouge Blanc et Bleu. It's just Le Bleu. America basically has a trademark on the red, white, and blue. It's even more ironic once you realize this team is based in India, and I don't see much from that culture in this set, especially since India has a lot of cool artwork and symbolism to draw inspiration from, like the lotus flower or the elephants and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I'm just chatting at this point because I still like the player card of a lion with red sunglasses and a jacket. The pistol screams out Soldier 76 from Overwatch 2. The set is still okay, so C tier. And lastly, we have BBL. I already made the Brazilian butt lift joke in my EMEA pick'ems, so no need to do that here. However, Big Booty Latina Esports outdid themselves with this collection. Nah, I'm just messing with ya. This team stands for Big Boss Life. Their logo is actually a crown. Everything about this collection is lovely. Definitely the best out of all the team capsules in my opinion. Let me know if you agree with that statement or disagree with anything else I've said. After looking at all these skins, I have to say Riot did a good job with most of them. Hopefully in the future they will have finishers as well. They don't even have to be that grand, just like an animation of the team logos would do, in my opinion. And people will eat these up a lot more. Nonetheless, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.